Another 50% suffered degraded operations. I think I should point out right here that we never had any intention of destroying 100% of all the Iraqi electrical power because of our interest in making sure that civilians did not suffer unduly. We felt that we had to leave some of the electrical power in effect, and we've done that. 75% of Iraq's command, control, and communication facilities have been struck during our air campaign, and 1/3 of those are completely destroyed or inoperative. As a result, Saddam Hussein and the Iraqis have been forced to switch to backup systems, and those systems are far less effective and more easily targeted. Let me talk briefly about air defense. First of all, the F-117 remains virtually invisible and is highly effective. But further, we've attacked air defense nerve systems, striking 29 targets and more than 800 sorties. As a result, the Iraqis have abandoned centralized control of their air defense within Iraq and Kuwait. Very important point. This accounts in part for the very, very low attrition rate of coalition aircraft. Pilot skill also accounts to that low attrition rate. As you know, we've flown more than 30,000 sorties, and we've lost only 19 aircraft. In the last 5 days, we've lost only 1 aircraft to hostile ground fire. Talking a little bit more about air-to-air combat. As you know, General Powell declared that we had air supremacy last week. We've destroyed 29 Iraqi fighter aircraft with not one single air-to-air loss on the part of the coalition. Also, I think it's important to remember that not a single Iraqi aircraft to date has penetrated the coalition airspace since this war began. In the last 3 days alone, F-15s have shot down 9 MiG-23s and Mirage F-1s. The Iraqi early warning system has completely failed, and their aircraft have been caught totally by surprise when we attacked them. A subject that's been very much in the news this week is airfields, so I'd like to talk now a little bit about airfields. Next chart, please. Well, we originally targeted 44 airfields.
At the moment, we're live with the ABC in America, taking a report from General Norman Schwarzkopf, a briefing on the current state in the Gulf. We hope at the moment that he will go into a major briefing on the first major land battle of the war, which is still going on.
And we've flown over 1,300 sorties against these airfields. The 38 airfields have all been struck at least once, and many of them have been struck at least 4 times. At least 9 of them are non-operational. But it's a very important point. We never had any intention to render all of the airfields inoperable. That was not our intention at all. Our intention is to render the Air Force ineffective. There have been varying reports about how many of these airfields have been destroyed, and there have been varying reports about how much damage we've done on the ground. I tell you, we can confirm at least 25 airplanes destroyed on the ground, and I want to give you an example. Please, next chart. This is a graphic reproduction of some hard evidence that we have of the Al-Taganim airfield on 23 January. We went in to the Al-Taganim and we destroyed 3 Badger aircraft on the ground. In addition to destroying 3 Badger aircraft, we did severe damage to an Adnan Candid airplane. This is the equivalent of our U.S. AWACS. When we looked at our results, we found out that there were 3 more Badgers on the ground, so we flew back the next day and we destroyed those 3. Now, as a result of this type of operation, they decided to put all of their aircraft in hardened structures. They tried to hide their aircraft. Therefore, we commenced a systematic destruction of those hardened shelters. At this time, I would like to introduce Brigadier General Glosson. He happens to be the commander of the 14th Air Division. He reminded me today, even though I look upon him as my and General Horner's principal Air Force target planner, and he's going to discuss a little bit of this hardened shelter attack. Would you start the video tape, please?
What you're about to see are the hardened aircraft shelters at 3 installations. The first installation being one of his primary MiG-21 bases of the Iraqi Air Force. That shelter was destroyed by a F-117, as are many of the other in this tape. Again, the F-117 Each and every hardened aircraft shelter obviously does not have an airplane in it, as you can see by the explosion and the degree of explosion. However, there are a significant number of them that do and have other things stored in them, that being a case in point. Again, the 117. Talil Airfield is one of Iraqi's major F-1 or Mirage 2000 bases. This hardened aircraft shelter was destroyed by an F-111.
Okay, would you stop the tape, please?